Good morning. It is November the 20th, 2017. We're about to kick off another week of trading. It is a holiday week. That tends to make markets range bound with an up bias. We'll see if that actually happens. My guess is that it will. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations, and like an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, the biggest news overnight is that Merkel could not form a government, and the euro was hit. So was the DAX, but they both have recovered from their overnight lows. They're not dismissing it as no big deal. It is a big deal because she can't govern without, but she's got to go back and put together or cobble together a new coalition. So normally, in normal times, if it wasn't a buy the dip mindset in the markets out there, that would cause more selling than it has, but it was absorbed by the market and they've come back. Japan's market was down. Both of China's markets, the European markets and the UK markets are up a little bit. The Emini was off 2 points when I looked at it earlier this morning. So not a lot going on, and today we have LEI news. And it's very, very strong, called up 0.6, but it rarely causes reaction. You can see we've got a move right out of the middle right here, so I'm guessing a trading range. Last rotate up stopped at 2, so we'll make sell 1, 2 to 6. Pick up this area, and this area right here, we'll make sell 2, 11 to 15. I think the stock market really has to sell for us to break out of this range. On the buy side, we'll make 25, 29 buy 1, and 17 to 21 buy 2. What a weekend we had! 75 degrees on Monday, and then yesterday the wind was blowing, and we were in the low 50s. So we've got 70 degrees in the forecast for the coming weekend. I don't know if we'll get there, but pretty mild, so to speak. I've got maybe next weekend we'll get the leaf raking behind me, maybe. The Bradford pear is the last one to lose its leaves, and we're all standing around waiting for the Bradford pears in our neighborhood to throw in the towel. Hasn't happened yet. Looking at the 30-year, we'll make 8 to 12, number 1, sell 15 to 19. And 23 to 27. On the buy side, 28 to the buck, number 1, buy 21, 25, and buy 2, 13 to 17. Playing for a trading range, as you can see. Gold was unchanged when I looked at it this morning, down a couple. And it's still down a couple. So we got a seller at 95, 94, 96, sell 1, 99 to 01, sell 2. On the buy side, 89 to 91, buy 1. 85, 87 by 2. Unfortunately, we might be looking at a $5 range in gold today. I'm not expecting much. Yeah, for all the forecasts that I'm looking at, La Nina brings us a pretty mild winter, dry one also. And it looks like the real cold weather forecasts are Minnesota, the Upper Lakes, down into Ohio, Pennsylvania, and back up into New England. We could use some cold weather and some snow, but we hopefully they're wrong in their forecast. I like the Four Seasons. Little change, doesn't hurt anybody. Okay, there's Frankfurt time. Merkel's government couldn't form a coalition. Market was down in anticipation of that, and then when they couldn't form the government, the market rallied back. So, go figure. Buy the dip, right? So, looks like we got a buyer at 1750, and we've got a seller up here at 1875. That's where we find ourselves right now. So 1815 to 25, sell 1. 40 to 50, sell 2. Picking up this area right in here. On the buy side, got that low at 75, this low at 85, and then excuse me, 1790 right here. So we'll make 80 to 90 buy 1, 50 to 60 buy 2. Hope everybody has the plan they want for Thanksgiving. We'll be by ourselves here. So Helen has gotten a chicken breast with bones in it, so she can have some stuffing. And so we'll have roasted chicken, stuffing, and green beans, and she said that was it. Which will be just fine. Henry's a little disappointed. If we had gotten a turkey, he would have eaten pretty well for a couple of weeks. But sorry, Henry. We took a vote and you lost. Hope everybody's football teams prospered over the weekend. Tennessee got blown out by LSU as anticipated. I didn't watch nor record the game. And yesterday, didn't watch any professional football. And you know, I don't miss it. It's just kind of one of those things that I only watched one pro game a weekend anyway, so I wasn't a big fan, but pretty easy to get along without it. Okay, we do have a seller at 57 plus. We have had a buyer at 55. That's a $2 range. So we didn't quite make it to 57 on this go around. We're headed down. So I would say 56 is probably our first little bit of support. Have these single prints there. We have the single prints up here. We have single prints right there. So 55, 75, 56 by 1. Big news this week is supposedly the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia peacefully will be transferred to the prince. And we'll see if that happens. Structurally right here, 56.50 to 75, sell 1. 57, 57 and a quarter, sell 2. Came out over the weekend that Saudi Arabia, yes, are doing things together, and yes, have formed a I'm not saying a defensive pact, but they're thinking that way. Also, there was some rhetoric out that Saudi Arabia wouldn't hesitate to take on Iran. So rhetorically speaking, the drum beats of war are getting louder. We'll see if that happens. There are wide predictions out there that Israel is going to take out Hezbollah. I don't know if that'll happen or not. It seems like me if Hezbollah is not firing missiles across the border, you probably don't need to take them out, but you never know in this day and age. One thing for certain is that the world is a little bit different and a little bit more chaotic than we'd like to see it. Okay, maybe we've rejected prices above 75, 77 right here. I'm going to put a question mark there. I think we can get 79s to 80s. Definitely there's a buyer below 62 and seller against 90 right now. So 60 to 90 is like 30 points. And that would be a pretty typical trading range for us. So I think we're probably in a trading range right here. So 79 to 81, 84 to 86. LAI plus 0.6 usually doesn't impact the markets. On the buy side, 70 to 72. They make us pay up early to get in. So if we reject the 75 to 80 area, we're more interested in buying 65s to 67s. But getting started right off in the morning, we always have to pay up to get long, and I imagine that'll be the case today. But 75, 77 is the first little band because we have P's. I think we've started a new distribution up in London. I think we can get a little bit higher, but we may have to execute in the 75, 77 range. I see a trading range with an up bias this week because of Black Friday, which started, I think, last weekend or the weekend before last. I think the weekend before last people had pre-Black Friday stuff, and my internet was covered with Black Friday sales starting this weekend. So pretty soon we'll have Christmas in July, the way it's going. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.